Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the, I guess, the third night of the Hiveswap Friendsim. And the last night, for the time being, although there is another volume of Friendsim characters coming out sometime later this week. Looking forward to that. I will be streaming that probably the day it comes out, maybe a day later, depending on, scheduling things. But nonetheless, do not worry, I will update you on the Volume 6 of the Friendsim as soon as it arrives. Also, something I only just noticed about the menu while I was setting up now is that if you mouse over the title, it wiggles. Wait. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Yeah, I don't know why it does that, but it does do that. So anyway, let's get started. So we've already gone through volumes 1 through 3, as well, and all that's left is 4 and 5. I was asked who my favorite trolls are so far, and it's a really hard call, because I have one clear favorite per volume, but trying to pick between them is really hard. So probably Vriska is the obvious pick from volume 1, because I am also probably Vriska. A different probably Vriska from our data, just to clarify things. So our data from the first one, Amnesia from the second one. I love the murderous troll girls. What can I say? It's a type. I don't get it. It is what it is. Although Serva is an adorable little non-binary blogger. I love him quite a bit. I also find it kind of amusing that the other Goldblood, Sullix, his whole thing was duality. It's duality of nature. It's he is two things at once, and then Serva is non-binary. I don't know. It's kind of ironic. You see the irony? I see the irony. I think it's kind of funny. And then we have Skyla, who I took to calling Applejack because that's who she is the clear favorite of Volume 3, although Bronia is also just a good girl. And it's this volume very much broke the mold, because for Volume 1 and 2, we had a murder girl and a good person, and then we just had two good girls. Two nice little good girls. So now we are moving on to Volume 4 of Right and Wronged. Alright. Fresh from your most recent bout of gratuitous bodily injury and touching scenes of camaraderie, you soldier on. You've had a few setbacks, made a couple silly choices. Boy, do things just keep happening, and they never stop happening. Now let nobody say that you, the main character, are incapable of growth and change. Hang on, let me fix the chat, I can't see it. Is incapable of growth and change. You've made sure not to be caught in the wilderness near dawn again. You've made your way back to civilization. You can't wait to discover what new adventures await you. Adventures like friendship. Ah, my little pony. Used to wonder what friendship could. Who have we here? Tagora Gorjek. Looks to be a teal blood. Oh, this is a dangerous person. I can tell. This is the dangerous one of the route, I can already tell. And Vicari Retite. Vicary. I'm gonna go with Vicary. Okay, we're just gonna start, on the left, as per tradition. That is what we've done every other route so far, so why break up the routine? Alright, Tagora. Well, how are you going to kill us? This person is going to murder us, I can just feel it. You wandered around the street in a not-too-demolished-looking part of town, but you don't really take much of it in. You're not looking where you're going. This is an elementary mistake, especially on a planet where everything that exists seems to be a spectrum of engineered specifically for murder to could be a weapon in a pinch, but you've got a lot on your mind. And now is the car. These guys probably have some ridiculous word for it, but you haven't learned it. you hadn't noticed slams into you, sending you flipping head over heels. To add a few new concerns to your list: your bones and your organs. The sound of the driver yelling, "Watch where you're going, limp squirt chucker," fades as they drive away, and you assess your situation. I'm going to turn my fan off because I just noticed that you can probably hear that in the background. There we go. Reduce the noise pollution a little bit. I'm going to be uncomfortably hot for this entire stream, but that's the price I pay. I am a showman. I am an excellent host. Alright. You stretch each limb in turn, which you've got, I say, doesn't feel great. And you land in a bush which is covered in sharp objects. Your arms and legs all still work, though, and when you do an experimental cough, no blood comes out. Pretty lucky, you think. You may have redefined what luck means by this point in your journey, but you'll take what you can get. You don't figure that luck will extend to the driver turning around to help you out of this bush. Your gazes meeting and sparking an imminent and intense connection that leads to a beautiful lifelong friendship. Bet you let yourself hope. After a few minutes of struggle, the answer to your camaraderie daydreams comes into focus above you, a figure outlined by the spiny leaves of your plant prison and the glow of the moons. The troll you see isn't the driver of the car, but you don't care. Your heart is beating wildly with your continued lucky streak. Interesting. This is new. What's up with the trolling up top? Hello, you seem to have fallen victim to a collide and scamper with that skull buggy back there. Oh, is this an ambulance chaser routine? Is that what this is? This is a whole insurance scam. Plus 50 introductory fee. Oh, yeah. Oh. You're that kind of lawyer. That's why you're a teal blood. You're this kind of lawyer. Have you contacted your personal legislature? If not, I would like to offer my services. Plus 10. My name is Tagora Gorjek, but please call me Gorgor. I'm here for you. For a nominal fee, of course. Sign here. He pulls a business card from his sleek teal vest and offers it to you with a precise flick of the wrist. His claw bits are perfect. Try again to sit up, buoyed by this offer for assistance. He's some type of doctor, maybe? Or lawyer? It doesn't matter, really, because he said he was here for you. Those words go right ahead and burn themselves into the softest chamber of your heart. Oh. Insurance seems antithetical to alternating society. It does, doesn't it? Okay, the thing at the top apparently says, payment owed for legal services offered. Oh, this is going to be fun, I can tell already. Doesn't matter really, because, yeah. You start telling him your plight thus far, reaching up through the brambles towards his beacon of hope. This guy seems trustworthy. And that's not just your lack of options talking, you swear. How is MSPA Reader still alive? I ask you, how? Oh, God. As you shift, the moonlight shines on you. He steps back briefly, dropping the card. The one eye that's not covered by a swoop of product-infused hair opens wide. He recovers, smoothing his hands down his chest and straightening up, clearing his throat as you continue to explain. You're... What? Oh yes, an alien. I knew that. I've done work with aliens before, so your situation shouldn't be an issue at all. Alien stiffened. Everyone deserves an equal opportunity to be represented by me. In fact, we may be able to use this in our favor for a larger cachet settlement. It all depends on our angle. Here, try moving your chug column. You aren't sure why this is necessary, but you wriggle your torso, hoping that's right. You've never wanted anything more in your meager existence than to follow this specific directive perfectly. No, not that. You add a little hip jiggle, not so much that he might think it's a come-on, but enough to say, hey, I'm friendly and I know what the fuck I am doing. No, you're the thing that holds up your think pan. Work with me. Confusion emolument. You continue what you hope is part of a troll friendship ritual, shimmying various parts of your anatomy deeper into the bush until you get to your neck. And he clasps his hands together. There we go. That one hurt, didn't it? Definitely a case of column snap, which can get us a decently hefty restitution. Your neck feels fine, or it doesn't hurt any more than the rest of you. I bet you give him what you hope is a convincingly painful nod of agreement. Oh my god. Of course, you will need to front the initial restoration costs. We may also have to injure you further to ensure your case is convincing. Bet you've got to break a few Cluck Beast embryos to make a grublet, as you well know. $500 initial costs. Yes, I think we can make a mutually beneficial team if you're willing to do what it takes to bring about the justice you deserve. So what do you say? How would you like to help me help you? He was talking really fast, and you're not sure exactly what to think about your lack of funds or the idea of breaking any more bones. And that smile is sharp and shiny and pointed right at you. You want more of it. Ask him if he does pro bono work. Pro bono. Tell him about the heaps of money you definitely have. I gotta... Pro bono, that's funny. You're funny, MSPA reader. Okay, hang on, I mentioned this in the last video, but like the hitbox for clicking on these numbers at the bottom is slightly off. Like it doesn't quite line up with where your cursor actually is, so you have to like kind of guess where to click on the page to save your game. It's quite annoying. Anyway, I mean, it's like I know this is the failure option, but it also I kind of suspect that it's the good option. Like I know this is the option that'll make us fail, but I feel like it's also the good ending. This is presumably Phoenix Wright's experience at the end of every AA game. Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to take the failure ending first, just because it'll be funny. Ask him if he does pro bono work. Thank him profusely for his offer to help, and explain that while your situation hasn't exactly left you very rich, you'll pay him back in glorious friendship, the most infinite of resources. You lay it on thick. He seems like a guy who can appreciate a good deal when he sees one, and he can't imagine a better deal than this. You reach both arms up, ready for him to scoop you up out of this pain plant like the gentle baby you are. Sorry, I don't do charity. Such a shame, too. I was hoping working with an alien might make for a more interesting day than usual. Minus 900. You're not worth it. He turns on his heel and walks away, his high ponytail swishing behind him. Friendship is not a currency. And yes, I can see the cursor. You can't in the stream for some reason. I did spend quite a bit of time trying to get the cursor visible, and I couldn't. I don't know why. It was quite disappointing. Anyway, friendship is not a currency. So let's get back. Let's get back to the correct option. Loading. Tell him about the heaps of money you definitely have. You mention how incredibly loaded you are, and how core to your sense of values it is to pay well for good work. That's what we call good business. Now get up out of that prickle fawn and let's get you presentable. Sign here, please. He watches you flail a few times before he sighs, unbuttons his sleeves, and rolls them up to his elbows. Each fold is crisp and even. It takes a while, but you are good at being patient. There's a 12% cost increase for instances of manual labor. It'll be explained in your bill. Manual labor hike. It's itemized. I'm sure an alien of means such as yourself will be able to handle it. Sign here, please. You take his hand and he pulls you up out of the bush. It's kind of a rough job. He's not as strong as he looks, you guess. He glares at you like he's daring you to say shit about it, and you're a quick learner. He cuts you off mid-thank you. My office isn't far from here. We can go there to get things started. And by things, I absolutely mean get you clean, and sign a lot of vaguely worded, but stringently binding documents. Sign here, please. He walks with a purpose. You shake off the flora stuck to your various body parts and do your best to catch up. From the outside, his office basically just seems like his hive. You've learned a thing or two during this shitstorm of a cultural exchange, though. You gotta play it cool when a potential friend invites you home. You never know what cages or monsters or methods of evisceration they might have laying around, and you want to prepare a nice, chill look on your face for whatever carnage you're about to be confronted by. It doesn't work. Your face fails to bewildered hell when you walk inside, because it's all chrome and glass and broad white walls in there, and also a ferret for a Lucius, or a weasel. So it's gotta be a weasel, right? There's no way this lawyer doesn't have a weasel as a Lucius. It's like he bought the fanciest looking crate and barrel display room he could find, down to the last useless minimalist accessory, and then never sat down in it. That is quite the descriptor. His Lucius, a ferret, is chilling on an enormous silver thing that's halfway between a throne and a play tower. Everything is clean and bright and at perfect right angles, and you don't see any weapons anywhere. Oh, that's nice. Excuse me. It's fucking creepy. You ask him if he just moved in, because polite conversation seems like maybe the best thing you can do, and in the absence of something specific to focus your fear on, you're just sort of a little afraid of everything. That's very reasonable. MSPA is starting to get the hang of living on Alternia. You're not paying me to learn my life story, unless you'd like to. In that case, no. I've lived here most of my life. I'd go ahead and add that to your bill. 1,500 for a life story installment. You stare at one of the chairs. Should you sit in it? By all means, do not make yourself at home. Head straight to my absolution trap while I prepare our contract. Absolution trap? You really want to connect with this guy, and you like how you just vibed there, where you were thinking about sitting in your bedraggled ass in his fancy chair, and he could totally tell you were thinking it, but you don't want to be friends badly enough to walk straight into something that has the word trap right there in its name without at least pondering it for a second. You've become savvier during this time. Okay, I'm gonna save. No entrapment, please. Take a goddamn bath. See, I'm inclined to say that no entrapment, please is the wrong answer. So I'm gonna go with it. You tell me you would rather stay away from any and all traps, if that's alright. You mentioned that you think that's the better move for both of you. Something tells you that this guy wants to know what's in it for him. Probably all the times he said explicitly that. You do have that vibe going, after all. He taps a claw on his chin and looks you up and down. He takes his time. You try not to blush, no matter how exciting his gaze is. You present a solid case. Your whole look is more than a bit repellent, but it may make the pitiable lost alien angle more emotionally effective if you still look like that and look like you just got run over. Frown. Please sign here. Takes you a second to realize he didn't just say his physical emotive response instead of doing it with his face. He's giving you a direction. You stick your lower lip out and try to look as pathetic as possible. Yeah, this is really working for me. It's awful. Completely repugnant. Pungency payment? Your general squalor should function as a simple manipulation tactic, no matter which direction I decide to spin it. The praise makes it hard to keep frowning, but you do your best to keep it up. You even hunch over a bit and shamble a few meager steps towards him. Great, yes. That's enough. No need to come any closer. Seriously, you smell terrible. Okay then, we'll skip the hygiene and get straight to the best part. Bureaucracy. Stay right there, don't get any of your crusty alien orifices near my decor. I'll go print out our contract, and we can move on. Reimbursement for ink? Re-ink-bursement? You pretend you're a statue while he types things, then prints the typed things, then staples the printed things. His ferret Lucius stares at you with beady interest. You stare back, completely motionless. You wonder how often Gorgor has friends over. He brings the packet over to you and hands you a pen. Read this, or don't. Sign it either way. It's a standard legislature agreement, tweaked a bit to accommodate your particular situation. You know and agree to submit your testimony to be judged, and we accept whatever subjugulation you receive. You recognize that any potential winnings are to be remitted to me for processing through a local account before your portion can be dispensed to you. In the event of your calling, I will act as your executor of your accounts. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah. Same old business. I'm sure it's the same where you are from. There are stars at each place you are to initial. Shrunken text expense. That sure was a lot of stuff that you just got told real fast. You're trying to listen, really, but he winked at you early on in his monologue and was really distracted because you couldn't stop thinking about it. If you could incorporate a wink into your secret handshake, maybe? Anyway, regular legal jargon? Yeah, just like the times you click to say you read the terms and conditions of any old harmless social media app. That stuff never ends up being relevant. Timely! You show off your exquisitely polished John Hancock as many times as it takes. Excellent, excellent. Everything's in order, then. Are you ready to head out? Please sign here. Who would win in a fine print-off between Cankry and this guy? Cankry, indisputably. Cankry is the all-time champion of small text. Oh, like now? Now? You're not ready. Do you look roughed up enough? Will your bones need to be through any more ordeals? What's a subjugulator? Does Tagora? No, sweep like the one you're no sweep like the one you're fucking in, as they say. Pardon the language, it's an idiom. Means it's time to fucking go. Let's watch the fucking language. You watch him out about as apprehensively as you followed him in. As you retrace your path you took not too long ago, it occurs to you to wonder where this glorious feat of justice is going to take place, and if anyone is going to subpoena the asshole that hits you. Oh god, is that going to be the ending to this one? Is we're going to get killed by a purple blood? I would. If that's the ending to this, I am going to love this route so much. If that's where we're going with this. Is that even a thing here? You skip up to match Tagora's pace and ask. There's no real need for you to worry about that. It's for me to deal with. I saw the perpetrator, of course. If it seems prudent to pin the crime on them when the time comes, I'll have more than enough credible evidence to condemn them. Their blood cash should be sufficient, but it seems worth it to call in their dented scuttlebuggy. You can certainly do that as well. Bonus for a potential frame-up job. Of course, that's not the only way we can spin this. It may not be necessary to involve them at all. Don't bother worrying about that either. You definitely still worry about that, but you nod and keep walking like you're not bothered. You want to match his level of easy confidence. It's almost comforting to be around it, now that you've spent some time with him. It's simple. You're still basking in the ease of being told what to do when the whole vibe flips over on its ass so fast you feel like it feels like ice down your back. You look at Tagora first. He's stopped walking, and his posture somehow gets straighter. Even his cute little ponytail looks more alert. He's staring at the approach of another troll, a blue guy. You know that means high blood, but not much else about what that entails, aside from what you've picked up from the full hair-on-end cat reaction from old Gorgor next to you. Pleasant evening, sir. His voice gets somehow even sweeter and more professional at the same time. You recognize what he's feeling because you felt it yourself the whole time you've been on this godforsaken planet. A deep, all-consuming thirst for approval. He's gunning hard for business boy friendship. The high blood, however, is not. At first you think he might be chill because his smile gets huge. The hell if you don't love getting smiled upon, and hell if you don't love getting smiled upon. You start to introduce yourself until Tagora suits you a be cool look. But then you learn that this guy's smile is not the nice kind. What's this? He asks. Gorgor picked up a little friend? It's not. Oh dear. We have a working relationship. Cat. You try not to let his dismissal of your friendship sting. You're not there yet. It's okay. You want to be helpful, so you put on your best injured face and start hobbling in a circle, twisting your neck at the most grotesque angle you can manage without actually hurting yourself. You groan pitifully about all of your bones. Oh, right, you're a booming drone pursuing... Cat, where are you going? Going for the lap? There. Let's step on the keyboard. AKA Bristol. Alright, your booming drone pursuing business. This client you have here looks extra shitty. Good luck getting anything good for whatever this mutant is that you scraped up from the grizzle grate. If you take a moment to consider the potential... The blue guy rolls his eyes and keeps walking, elbowing his way right up between the two of you on his way past, like you're nothing. Tagora freezes, his eyes stay fixed ahead of him. Where the blue guy was just standing, it's like he hasn't processed the movement yet, even though he got knocked back a few steps in his wake. He starts shaking. Yikes, that was, tense. He wanted to say something reassuring to Tagora, but he's kind of ascended into another plane of existence. Maybe a nice reassuring pat on the soldier will help diffuse the mood. You put a ginger hand in the mere vicinity of his body, he rolls to face you, eyes narrowing and breathing heavy. You snatch your hand back fast. Mistake! You! Oh dear. Do you have any idea how rare that networking opportunity was? Do you realize what you... damages for a slide down antisocial ladder? No, of course you don't. You don't know anything. You're just a weird little hornless thing that doesn't even know how to cross the fucking street. Return of Swearjar. He starts laughing all high-pitched and weird. Up until now, he'd seemed so slick, so inflappable. That Gorgor is hard to reconcile with the one pacing back and forth, hollering, grabbing his face. He's pretty goddamn flicked. Ooh boy, you really screwed up, huh? Maybe your busted neck routine was not convincing enough, or too convincing? Either way, you figure now might be the time to bow out before this scene really blows up. You tell him so, your neck is fine, look, you headbanged a bit to prove it. No, a deal is a deal is a deal. He breathes in slowly through his nose. Alright, Gorgor, remember your mantra. He closes his eyes. After an awkward minute of watching him whisper something unintelligible to himself, he opens them and immediately starts that bonkers pace again, so you skedaddle to catch up. He keeps talking, though by now he's just talking to himself, with you as an eavesdropping barnacle with really slow legs. Little manic giggles bubble out between his sentences. We're heading towards justice, alright, we're absolutely about to get ourselves killed. Keep walking, we're seeing this through. We've got a bottom line to uphold. Okay, not bad. Maybe things are still cool between you. Maybe this lawyer-client relationship still has a chance to blossom into something more. You venture a friendly type talking. A friendly type talking. That. You venture that, and ask him about his mantra. He stops walking and looks at you like you shat in his Lucius's grave. Don't just ask somebody what their mantra is. Mantra request forfeiture. Maybe not so cool. He shivers, spooked, and turns his stanky stare from you to the path you're on. After a moment, he smooths back all the hairs he shook out of place during his freakout, pivots, and turns down a side street. Anyway, as I was about to say, there are many ways to fulfill the terms of our contract. I was hoping this would lead to a more stimulating evening. I was prepared to get into it with you. For you. But it has become clear that this partnership is no longer worth the work. Especially now that I have to consider the significant career setbacks I just experienced at your feckless hand. So instead of wasting any more of my time or yours, let's take a shortcut to the same end result, sparing us both the agony of enduring a long court battle in the proximity of one another. Here's your verdict. You're guilty. Guilty verdict Amir said. Guilty? Wait, wasn't it supposed to be the other guy on trial? You look around, panic racing in your chest. Oh, don't tell me you don't know how the legal system works either. Unsurprising and uninteresting. Okay, this is bad. You've been caught up watching him talk like you didn't notice him guarding you straight to the shittier part of town. You know, the part that's all half-demolished hives and creepy noises and drones flying around. Drones like the one that turns to notice you when Tagora whistles, snaps his fingers, and points right at your head. Hey, big guy. Over here. One extremely malformed and unviable troll. Just the way you like it. You shouldn't feel surprised at this betrayal. Maybe, but you do. For a second, anyway. Then you focus on yelling and scanning for possible debris to hide under. Tagora starts backing away as the drone gets closer. There's a sewer the next street over. You probably won't make it. But if you do, check your pocket. Do specified for bad ends. Oh, that was great. That was exactly how I was hoping the bad end would go. Alright, let's get to the good end. Take a goddamn bath. You're more than a little concerned about the trap part of the instructions you just received, but hey, at least the trap you know about is better than one you don't. And with everything else you can see so freakily pristine, he has to be hiding some evil somewhere. I wonder if it's a dungeon. A dungeon could be cool. The ferret bounds off its pedestal and jerks its head for you to follow it. You do, because it seems like a regular thing to do, and Tagora is busy at his computer. It leads you to the bathroom, which is just as fancy and clean as everything else you've seen. The Lucis chitters at you for a second, squirming its big noodle body around and leaves, shutting the door behind it. You wait a second till it's probably gone before you test the handle. It's unlocked. Excuse me. You wonder what the point, or, motive, might be for leading you to this room until you turn to see yourself in the mirror. That is some haggard-looking stuff right there, so fair. You're flying by the seat of your pants, but you guess maybe you're supposed to take a bath? If not, then he gets pissed and unleashes the ferret on you. At least you'll meet your maker nice and clean. You have to expect some indiscernible goo or blood or something to come out of the faucet in the weird lumpy tub, but thankfully it's just water. Once you're in, you take a look at the truly inordinate amount of bath products you have at your fingertips. There are 3 shelves of little bottles and soaps and unidentifiable lathersome accessories by the tub alone. There's even more by the mirror. The labels are all gibberish, of course, but you sniff a few until you find something flowery and go to town. You take more time than you should in there, but you haven't experienced a moment of luxurious solitude in a bit. Full-time friendship searching can be a difficult work. It's good to recharge. Once you're freshly scrubbed and dried, you slather yourself head to toe with some lotion you find in an iridescent vial. You hope he won't mind you using it. He wants you to be presentable. And this stuff is sparkly. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. You're starting to feel rejuvenated as hell, ready to knock this friendship stuff right out of the park. You leave your dirty, torn-up clothes on the floor, wrap yourself in one of the many satin bathrobes folded on a shelf, and head back to find Tagora. He's standing in his foyer, waiting with a contract he typed up for you. When he sees you, his eyebrow ticks up. I see you went with the Rainbow Drinker Serum. Full-body application. You know what? I don't want the answers to that. Bold choice. Besides, I probably already know the answer to where that came from. I mean, it's an incredibly rare and expensive product, and I do expect to be reimbursed, but I won't lie, it works. Crushed friend handmade something or other. Yeah, sure, that stuff. You don't want to let on that you don't know what it is, since he seems impressed. Instead, you give his ego a little stroke and tell him you hadn't seen such a sumptuous way of self-care accoutrements in so long that you couldn't help yourself. Not everyone takes skincare as seriously as they should. I assume you were taking forever in there because you've gotten lost or didn't know how to use the ablution trap. I had considered the possibility you were just doing your regiment. Noted. Minus 500 for impeccable skincare. You hold your arms out to admire the well-hydrated sheen you have going on. This time you're not really even bullshitting. It just does actually look pretty good. Tagora seems like he's struggling. He keeps opening his mouth to say something and changing his mind. He's clutching the documents in his hands like a flotation device. He looks down at them, then back at you. I typically only use that particular product to highlight my cheek blades, but there's no real reason you shouldn't apply it more liberally, especially if cost isn't an issue. It's a little Jurassic for my personal style, but there is a certain unorthodox glamour to it. The next bit looks like it hurts him a bit to get out. Do you? Would you like to step outside to see the full effect? You bet your ass you would. You're curious about what he means by effect, and this seems like more fun than signing stuff. He places the documents down on his desk like they're made of glass, not paper. He looks up at Lucius, who just sort of tilts its head to the side. You look away and give them privacy to do whatever eyeball communication is going on. After a bit, Tagora clears his throat and heads towards the door. Don't comment on the bluish flush of his cheeks. For all the shift in his demeanor, he still seems like he might kick you out on your ass if you tried to get too feelingsy with him. You start to glow as soon as you step out into his dark front yard. Not in a light bulb kind of way, but a subtle, ethereal illuminescence. What is this stuff? Well, it came from vampires, is the short answer to that. Now that is a look. I mean, there's still the unfortunate issue of your hornlessness and overall aberrance, and the fact that you're still wearing my absolution robe. Absolution rental fee? But it's cutting edge, I'll give you that. So basically you just turn yourself into a sparkly-ass vampire. And Tagora is spitting. That's what's happening here. You look almost like a real one. You don't know what that means, but you want to roll around eternally and hit in the praise part. You ask him if the look will help your case. Your case, of course. He bites his lip and looks back through the window at the papers sitting on the desk where he left them. You hope he still wants to represent you, or at least that he wants to hang out even if he wasn't going to. You don't get a chance to prod, though, because right then somebody rounds the corner of the sidewalk in front of his hive. Tagora's face immediately shudders into its usual shimmering mask. There's an edge of panic around his eyes, though. Huh. Wow, Gorjek, what have we here? It's a blue-themed troll, which, if you remember right, means he's a fancier guy than Tagora. I want to actually see this guy that's been giving Tagora so much grief. He's grinning like Troll Christmas came early. You can feel Tagora vibrating out of his skin next to you. Who even is this guy? When he gets close enough to get a good look at you, he jumps and screeches, "What the bulge-boiling fuck?" Tagora is frozen, the corner of his mouth pulled back to show his teeth. The new guy is ignoring him in favor of noticing you're dressed in Tagora's monogrammed leisure wear, if his look of fascinating horror is anything to go by. You don't really know what makes you do it. Whoops, wrong button. You don't really know what makes you do it. You should wait for Tagora to get himself together and do the talking, but you're widening the high from him, almost seeming like he was enjoying your company. Plus, nothing boosts confidence like looking like a beautiful, spooky angel. So you toss your head, put on your best fancy guy voice, and say, "What, never seen a real one before?" Wow. You're placing all your chips on this guy knowing something you don't, but when his eyes get huge and he starts stumbling over himself to back away down the sidewalk, you know it's paid off. I love it that MSPA reader has no idea what he just did. Oh, this is grand. This is grand. Tagora blinks, then jumps right in, picking up directly where you left off. Surely someone as well informed as yourself knows a rainbow drinker when he sees one. The blue guy doesn't respond with anything more coherent than a string of yelps as he hightails it back the way he came. Oh, when he's gone, you turn to Tagora and ask him super casually what a rainbow drinker is. He stares at you in stunned silence. Are you telling me you didn't know? You nod. And then you ran with it anyway, exploiting the fear you picked up on to turn the tide of a delicate encounter to your favor? Oh, yes. This is amazing. You shrug. You guess so. You tell Tagora you hope your friend wasn't too freaked out. His friend wasn't too freaked out. Friend? Oh no, I hate that guy. There are simply times when being liked by your betters is helpful. Though, technically, fearing me is just as good. Better, maybe. Ah, yes. This is perfect. So, you know. Thank you. Tagora's laugh is soft. It's not a sound you expected to hear. He's happy because of something you did! You can't help it. You start laughing too. That was a bit of a rush, wasn't it? It was almost fun. I certainly didn't see it coming anyway. I underestimated you. He gives you an appraising look, then takes a deep breath. You're so nervous all of a sudden, you feel unbalanced on the precipice of what he might be about to say. From one prevaricator to another, I will let you in on something. I haven't actually encountered an alien before. Surcharge for truth reveal. Oh, sweet relief. You tell him his act was airtight, and as long as everyone's doing the truth thing, you admit you lied a bit too. You aren't actually rich. Yes, that's clear now. You have the invaluable ability to fake it, though. That's potentially much better. Why don't you put your case on hold? We've put your case on hold for the time being. You wouldn't have enjoyed the outcome of our legal system anyway. Preemptive interest in health suit. We can find an alternative means of you working off your debt. Because, yeah, you still owe him 2 grand, 20 grand. I think we may make a better team than I previously anticipated. With our wits combined, we can tackle bigger and better things than traffic injuries. He flexes his hand at his side, and then in one swift and decisive movement, he extends it out to you. On his face is something close to an honest-to-God, real-ass smile. I've never actually formed a legitimate partnership with any sort before. I believe this is how it's done. What do you say? Minus 5% friendship discount? The glow of your heart shines brighter than any expensive and still kind of mysterious lotion. You take his hand in your firm, no-nonsense grasp of pure, inexorable joy and shake it. Friendship! Just sign here. Oh, that was great. Now that it's all over, what's really funny is they never actually do explain what a rainbow drinker is. Like if you've never read Homestuck before, you are still baffled about what the hell is going on with this rainbow drinker nonsense. You might be able to guess from the context clues, though, I suppose, because I mean, like, if say hypothetically you're a person who has only played the Friendsims, has never played Hiveswap, has never read Homestuck, you might be able to guess that since, you know, trolls have a rainbow assortment of blood colors, that a rainbow drinker would be some analog to a vampire. It's possible you could pick that up by this point. But they never do explain it, and that, to me, is almost as funny as everything else that just happened here. We are going to take a short break and then get on to the next Friendsim. So I will see you in a moment. Bye-bye. And stop.